Hey everybody, we're back with stream number 2 here. Thank you for joining. Just as a quick refresher, we have a couple custom commands. One is name, so you can understand where this handle originates. The settings for the Palworld is under Palworld settings, all one word, no spaces. And the rules that we're following for the self-imposed rules are under Palworld rules. And with that, let's just get hopping right back in here. I have not done any off-camera work. Kind of defeats the purpose of streaming, unless it's really boring stuff, but we're not quite to the grindy, really boring stuff yet. So we're going to pop in here at night, of course. And let's just quick recap here. We got all kinds of PAL spheres built up. We have our ranged weapon. Don't have a whole lot of arrows yet. A little bit of coin and some food to go off of. Remember, we're trying to, for the base, trying to get up to level 18 because that will give us the stone structure set, and then we can be a bit more permanent with our build out here. And one thing to note is we are on the new patch. Of course, I do one stream and they release a new patch, so yeah. There's a hotfix coming in, so maybe we'll do a second stream and then there'll be a hotfix tomorrow. I guess we'll find out. But with that said, we are quickly running out of night. But we need to sort our PAL box a little bit here. So, if you recall, I had set up a little cheat sheet here for how I'm going to sort my PAL box out. We're only looking for these specific traits in our PALs for when we start breeding, which at the moment we may or may not do because breeding, they fixed an unintended thing that they're going to unfix, which is basically like our cativas. Right now, if we were to breed them, they would always have that coward trait because that's basically what you could consider a racial trait for them. Previously, you could breed that out by breeding them with other pals, and eventually that coward trait would just drop out in deference to another trait that got pushed in. Now, right now, if we were to do it, that would not happen. So we're going to wait a little bit there. And looks like we have a visitor heading to the base. Again, good luck with that. You ain't going to get here. Because as you recall, we are at a location where really raids can't get to us because they can't climb, which makes sense because otherwise they just climb over defensive walls. So, with that said, let's get that PAL box sorted a little bit so we can get rid of some pals here. Helps to be in the right screen. Okay, so traitless pals we said were very good. And those are going to be stored in boxes 4, 5, and 6. And I don't mean like box, this is box 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going backwards because any pal we get is going to start in box 1 and work its way. Right now, if we were to catch another pal, it'd be here, then here, then here. So when I have it on my little list here, I use this box, which is the last box. I just hit Q once for anything I'm currently breeding or anything like that. Then I go to box 2. This is where I'm going to store our teams. And I think we might go with this as a primary team, but of course we got room for another 5 possible teams. So we might pick like some elemental teams to fit in there. That's a ways off yet because I really don't want to put too much work into it since Anubis is always going to have a certain trait and the Cativa is always going to have a certain trait. We'll see how quickly they fix that. But that said, let's get our traitless ones, and I want to start storing them clear back in box 6. And when I store them, I keep storing the females on the left there. Female. So Mine Foreman, we are going to store. That's going to be in box 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Mine Foreman was the 4th one down, I believe. Yes, so we're just gonna punch in that we have a Fox Parks here. And I'm going to, I have a different version of this. I will get it updated so that when we put in a name here, I will actually just show you guys. When we put in a name there, it will tell us what the breeding power of that PAL is, so that we can kind of keep a low, a middle, and a high value, so that we can get to wherever we want to go a little bit quicker. I am just waiting for that other Excel sheet to open up here so I can show you what I mean. And I will get it done before next stream, but nice and big. As you can see, if I put in Van Wormer, it tells me, well, this is the breeding power. And we will go into that more when we actually get to breeding. That's a ways off yet, especially since it's currently broken, but we'll see where we go here. So the aggressive Cativa and aggressive was the plus attack. Of course, he's got minus attack, so basically this one has neutral attack, but his defense is lowered and so is his work speed, but we're not going to use him for work speed anyway. So what we're going to do first is just go through and grab all these traitless pals that we may have. And none of the Cativas are going to be traitless, obviously, because they all have that coward trait. Here's a male chicken. And one thing to note when you start breeding, you can only get a Chickapee as a child when you're breeding 2 Chickapee as parents. That's just how the breeding thing works. It basically just takes the average breeding power of the parents and plugs it in to see what you're going to get, with some exceptions. And this one's a male. And that means with this we have a male and a female. We don't need to keep another Fox Parks. So even if we get another traitless, which we have right there, we don't need it, so we can get rid of it, either selling it or whatever else we're going to do. And looks like we just got one more traitless one here. Let's come back over there, actually. So what I do to keep track of which traitless ones we have, let me just shrink that up so we can read it here. I just have this set up so I can say Fox Parks, and this is a female. And we got a lamb ball, female. I can't type. Male. Yes, okay. And this guy was called a Lee's Punk. Okay. And then basically I have this set up to sort. Oops. Okay, apparently not. Let's go Z to A there. There we go. So that it sorts it. So right now our best lower number is a higher quality PAL, basically. I mean, it's not exact, but basically. So if we wanted to breed PALs, the furthest down we could get right now is to the Lee's Punk level, because that's the lowest we have in our traitless PALs at any rate. So I just try to keep these in order so that I can kind of see at a glance. And yes, that is correct. So now let's go back. Let me expand that screen again here. Get our what we're looking for here. So basically we want to look now for any single traits. So like Swift, we definitely want to keep that. Abnormal, we're not looking to keep that. Masochist, etc. We're just looking for the gold traits that are singular at this point, because when you start breeding, it is easier to breed a single gold trait and a single gold trait parent to get the those two specific traits. Sometimes you still get random ones mixed in, but it is easier that way. And when you start, let's see, Burly Body, I don't think we were keeping, no. So when you start trying to get 4 perfect passive skills, it's easier to breed a parent with 2 of the ones that you want with a parent that has the other 2 that you want. Diet Lover, were we keeping it in this? No, well, wait. No, we were not keeping Diet Lover in this run. Nor were we keeping Sirius, correct? So basically, all we got so far that we're keeping is Swift, and it's a Lamball. And it was a female Lamball. So we're just going to plunk that right here in the middle. Just so that we keep track and we know that, hey, box 3 has a Lamball here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And that was not, yes, right there. Okay. So all these other pals, we don't really need to keep, per se. We may want to keep some of them for the moment. Let's see, that's sanity drops faster. We definitely don't want that. We had caught the Pangullet because he can water. We had caught the Gumas because he could plant, but right now that's not a very good one even for that. We definitely want to keep a Fox Parks to work for us. And I'm thinking the one we're going to want is the Diet Lover one. He eats, well, maybe not. Because eating less often when we do the cooked berries means he's going to lose his sanity technically faster. Right now we need one to fight with, and that was one of our traitless ones, was it not? That's going to be our highest level one at the moment. It's not that one, but we might take that one with us just to help us out. Yeah, so that female traitless we had. And the other one was a female traitless one as well. So what we're going to do for now is just swap those traitless ones around so that we have a fire pal on us that's higher level, because we were going to go possibly do a dungeon, catch some pals kind of thing. I believe that was the best Cativa we had because of the aggressive trait there. Well, nope. Hooligan's a little bit better. Oh. Destructive, no. Stronghold Strategist. I mean, if we grabbed him, that would increase our player defense, but his attack is down. So, I think we'll grab the Hooligan instead of the aggressive. Hooligan decreases work speed, which we're not using him for, but increases attack speed by 5. Whereas this aggressive is 10 and 10, but it's minus defense. So let's take that Hooligan one with us instead. We got to get him some levels, so let's not make him our primary one. And as far as the rest, I don't think we're going to grab him, since we might use this Pangullet on the base here. We'll stick him in there. And now, oops, apparently I'm hungry because I haven't been paying attention. So we got a few pals on us. Now I think what we're going to do is try and get to the first settlement. So we're just going to go over here. I kind of know where to go from the map, or from certain points on the map, because I've been playing the game way too much. Not as much as some people, but still way too much. So we're going to work our way this way, and if we see any pals we need to catch, then we'll work on catching them. Because we do have some pal spheres on us. Right, we brought those with, yes, 52. This guy is just here, just telling us, hey, keep in mind, you capture 10 of the same pal, you're going to have some bonus XP. Which we talked about last time, because if we look at our pal deck, we got it for the lamb balls, we got it for the cats. We could catch some chickens here on the way. I don't know that we'll see any back in here once we get past here, but never know. Pick up some stuff as we go. Yes, I know I can pick that up. We're going to leave it for a little bit. Because right now we're working our way towards the settlement. And actually, we're going to work our way towards that tower first, because there's a fast travel over there. And then we can work our way towards the settlement. Hey, you, we could use more of your kind. That sand attack probably would have killed him. So let's just pull that guy back in. There we go, we got another ping gullet. And since I know we haven't got 10 of those yet, that comes in handy. If only that Nightwing was a little bit further over here. I don't think he's going to be close enough for us to try and hit with an arrow. Be nice. No. Because I believe it's at level 12. We can't see it yet, but I believe it's at level 12 is when you can actually get a saddle, and then we'd be able to get around a lot easier. And guess what? I just noticed I did the same thing as I did last time. There we are. We're not just chatting. We're actually playing the game. Now, that's 0 for 2 of getting that right on the stream. Maybe next time. Which the next time is planned to be on Saturday. Same time of day or night, depending on where you live. Oh, that's an egg that we can't get yet, because, well, we can get it, but we can't use it yet. Because we don't have that egg incubator. Yeah, sometimes you can walk up right behind them, they won't notice you, sometimes they do. Oh, come on. Nope, still not close enough. Trying to catch him so we have a better one. 81% chance. Probably going to catch him, but sometimes you could throw 3 balls at that and it would not catch him. There we go. And brittle, which is defense, but if he's just going to be sitting at the base, that's not such a bad a thing. Here's a dungeon, which we're not going to run quite yet. Hopefully we'll get at least one in before the end of the stream here, though. That is on the plate. But we just grabbed that fast travel point. Just up over there is the tower, which I just noticed has moving pieces. I never really looked at the tower that close before. Right up over there is a... Well, let's go see it, because it looks like we're kind of fighting something up there. There is a little camp up here that the Syndicate has basically captured a pal. He is stuck in a cage. If we defeat them... Well, technically, we don't even need to defeat them. We're going to try and defeat them here. But if you free the pal, you basically get it for free. But right now, basically, we're helping the other pals that were fighting them. Probably because the Syndicate started the fight. You can see whenever I attack and it comes up red, that's because I did a head... It's critical, not necessarily because it's a headshot. If I don't, it comes up white, and that means, well, you didn't get a critical. And... he moved out of the way. Okay, so our Fox Park is trying to attack through the barricade. That is not working so well. There we go, that's better. Pathing is still not all that great here. And it looks like all we're going to get is a Pingullet. Sometimes you can get some rare ones in here. This time, not, I guess. Although a Vanguard, Diet Lover, 2 really good traits, no negative traits there, so... If we were going for those traits, that would be handy. And before we run away, I believe there's a chest in here somewhere. I could very well be wrong. But I know we need these guys. And yeah, I killed him instead. Oh well. I know we need those guys too. Gotta watch my ammo. I'm down to just 29 arrows here. So we'll just let our fox parts fight a bit. And yeah, he killed him outright. That is always the danger when you get over leveled. Which is one reason I like the old bow. Because you can see when I can actually show you here. When I pull it clear back, I get that little ding. That means I'm going to do the best damage. But I can release it before that and do less damage. Which means if I need to damage the pal just a little bit, but I know I'm going to kill him outright if I do a full thing, then yeah, I can have a better chance of catching him instead of killing him. Now's when I really wish we had a mount, but maybe as we're getting up over towards the settlement, we can catch a dire howl. They're a pretty good land mount. And we don't want to drop down here in the water. If you are in deep water where you're using your stamina to swim and you run out of stamina, you will start taking damage. As we saw before when I fell off of our base, you can take fall damage. That was apparently not enough to take fall damage. Let's collect these berries while we're here, because you never know when we're going to need more food. It's just a fact of any survival game. Probably going to need food. And okay, let's keep rolling along here. Another chicken we can use. And they did do a... I thought I had a club. Oh, there it is. Do that. They put in a in the patch here. If I said attack aggressively now, then whatever pal I have out is going to attack whatever other pal we come across. Whereas before, it was basically doing the same as this focus on same energy, which basically means they won't attack until we're being attacked or until we attack something. And I believe we need one more chickpea, and there's one right over there. Oh, we need two more. That's right. I accidentally killed the other one. Oops. Well, one thing about these guys, they're easy to come across. Probably gonna catch him, and once it hits that cyan color, it's pretty much guaranteed you're gonna catch him. And if, we got a little bit of time yet, but I'll show you, because at night you remembered I was holding that torch. I don't really need it in the plains area here for the heat, but more for the light. But when you got your fox parks out, they're on fire. They'll light the way as well. Comes in very handy when you're mining or other stuff like that and you want to be able to see a little bit. Oh, chicken. Come here, I need one more of you. See, 93%, but he still broke out of the ball. And we got him on the second try. There we go. There, so that's all the chickpeas. And we leveled up, so before we go over there... Let's see, so this is level 13, and at level 13... And just, by the way, no, you don't have to be quite as anal as I am about planning out your leveling and stuff, but I do it because then it's like, I don't have to worry about it. It's like, oh, well, level 13, we're going to do a weight of 8, and we can get a base level of 5. I don't remember what our base level was, but weight's always a good thing. I'm going to switch to my bow in case we come across anything we might want to grab as a mount. Now, I know the rush ores you can Oh, he hit our fox parts. That's not nice. So the rush ores you can mount as well. You just need to get their saddle. They're not quite as good as the dire howl. And as I'm fighting this one with my club, I'm kind of keeping an eye on what my fox park is taking for damage fighting the other one. But, oops, I didn't actually mean to kill him, but oh well. Oh, he killed the other one too. Okay, fine. Well, we got some leather. Because if our pal dies, basically the only way you can revive them is to stick them in the pal box back at the base, and they got us sitting there for 10 minutes. There are other, what I would consider glitchy ways to get them revived, which one of them would be to deploy them at the base, and then your other pals will basically take them into a bed and have them recover. And then they're basically recovered immediately. You just pick them back up in your, put them in your party. Now their health won't be recovered immediately, but they'll be available to be put back into your party immediately. Small settlement. Let's see. And since we don't really have any use for the ammo at the moment, we're going to go sell that. Remember that little slide trick was just a running crouch at the same time. So the red one here is a wandering merchant where we can sell stuff at. Not pals, but stuff. So we'll sell that. And then the one up over here is the one where you can sell some pals at and buy some as well. Oh, I did not mean to click that. It'd be very nice if they had like number keys assigned to these or something instead of having to actually click them. We're going to sell first, keeping in mind we caught a couple pals while we were out running around. So we got to kind of, we can see off to the side which ones we're selling. So like Clumsy, don't need him. Brittle, if he's at the base, is fine. So we'll keep him for now. Burly Body, we did not catch a lamb ball. We did not catch a cat. We did catch a few chickens, so I'm just looking through the line to see. None of that we were keeping. That one we might keep just because he's got 2 gold stats, and we'll see. Maybe we can use him at the base instead of this guy. We'll take a look at that here. Traitless Chickpea, I don't believe we had. Let me bring that up here. Traitless Chickpea male we have. This one is a male, so we don't need another one. Ferocious, I don't think we were keeping that one. I really should have these written down instead of having to switch around. Maybe next time. Maybe I'll forget. Diet Lover we were not keeping. Clumsy, Destructive. Okay, we can get rid of all those. We're going to make 4,013 gold off of that. Yes, let's get rid of that. And what does he have for sale? So, can't afford it. That's why it's red and grayed out. The Chickpea, we don't really need. The Rush Ore, we also really don't need. About the only thing I keep an eye out for in here, especially this early in the game, is going to be a bee guard, because they are harder to catch. They tend to explode on you. And you need honey to be able to make cakes, and that is about the only thing you can't buy, because if we come back down to this guy, the other things you need to make honey are flour, which is made from wheat, which we can get. You need eggs, you need milk, so you can buy everything else for the cake, even the berries if need be. But typically what I do is, if I'm running low on cash, is cook the berries and sell those, because it's easy enough to get a bunch of berries. But the honey is the only thing you cannot buy. And now that it's dark out, you can see I can use the torch for light, or I throw out Foxpark. He lights it up too. The real goal for that is to get the... there it is, Hip Lantern. because then basically it becomes a key item, which will be stored under here. Doesn't really count towards against us for anything. But then it lights it up and we don't need to carry a torch or have a fire pal out just to see by. Now that we got that done, let's come back over to the base. And our arrows, let's see. We got some food we can cook. Because remember, cooked food lasts longer. And this is another change they made in the patch, which is very good. I'm not holding down F. I'm not touching the keyboard right now at all. Clapping. It's still working. Before you had to hold it down. It is a setting you have to change. Which is, and I'll show you here if I can remember where it is. It's under options and game settings, was it? Yes. Right here, hold to toggle interaction. Default is off. Why? I'd rather just hit F and let it go. Because then I don't have to sit there holding my keyboard. And it will just do its thing. And we got some of this stuff. Some stuff cooks faster than others, and remember, since I'm at the base, I'm going to try not to throw him into the fire. Since I threw him towards, he's, as it says right at the top there, waiting to cook. He's waiting for me to stick a recipe in there. And he will work on it, and since I hit the key too, I am working on it as well. Done here. And one thing about it, when you're playing on your own, you tab out, it stops. Just bear that in mind. But there we go. Had to collect the item and now we're working again. And there we go. And let's cook up those berries we got, because those actually cook the fastest. And believe me, once you get like the Jormuntide Ignis, which is a fire power of 4, and there is a base item that will increase the efficiency of basically anything that requires that skill. These baked berries almost too fast for you to get clicked to help him cook them. And that's him on his own. So that's why one playthrough I did just basically do the baked berries in wheat, and then instead of wasting base space on a chicken or a cow, I just bought the milk and eggs to make cakes instead. And honestly, it worked. It didn't really slow me down all that much. Let's see, we are most of the way through the night again. But I think what we're going to do... let's see what this guy is here. Increased player attack and hunger is less likely by 15. So that's not such a bad guy for on our team if we are going to do a Pangullet. Work speed is plus 20%, so he's not a bad one to leave at the base. So we're going to stick him there. As we said, Brittle is just defense minus 20, which is not that bad for a base pal. Doesn't, especially this base, since you can't be rated. But, I tell you what, let's bring up the thing here. So, a Cativa and a Pangullet. I'm just going to shade those yellow to know, hey, we got one. They're not the final ones, because definitely not. We need to do some breeding. The Pyron is a fire guy, so we'll put him down at the bottom there. And we still need the Nightwing, which would be a mount, and Anubis is way down the line. So is that Pyron, by the way. So what we're going to do here, I think, is come back over here. Plateau of Beginnings. Actually, you know what? We need some arrows. Let's get some arrows made up quick, and then we'll go run a dungeon quick. So, remember last time I got some wood on me, got some stone. Paladin just hit R. Everything that's in here that can go in here will go in here. And we'll do that with both. And let's see, we got bones now. We don't need to keep those on us. So remember, the berry seeds were just here to basically, if we have a base pal out that transports stuff, they won't try to put like stone and wood in this chest because that's what we got in this chest. Let's see, that's good. Let's see what we can do for arrows here. Quite a few. And remember, this is ×3. For a single run through, let's just do that many more arrows. Yeah, that'll be good. And then, did we have any? Oops, time to eat. Let's see. Berries, of course, have the least time, but they're also the most plentiful. Let's do the eggs because there's only 3 eggs, and then we get an inventory slot back. Anyway, I was going to say, since I'm going to work here, handiwork would come in handy. And since he has a minus to handiwork because of hooligan, he can do handiwork as well. So we're going to throw our pangullet at the bench and basically tell him, hey, help me make these arrows. That is going to take a minute here. Let's see, I did mention that we could get our base up to level, what was it, 5, I believe? Yes. So, while he's doing that, I think what we'll do is just that. So we just need to place a couple more pal beds. Let's go over here. Like I said, I'm not really worried about it too much until we can, oh, see there, we're overlapped. Oh, because we're too close to the, there we go. So up in the upper right hand corner there, it says current missions, build straw pal bed. We got 1 of 3, 2 of 3. And basically, once we get going, I try to have a bed for every pal, because if they sleep and they're not in a bed, then they're not going to restore their sanity overnight. And then the other thing it wants is a feed box. I don't think we have that learned yet. And when you're in here, you can see, oh, well, you need 20 wood. Well, we apparently don't have it because we're crafting it to make arrows. So, axe time. And basically, this is the point of having a base, is he's still working on making our arrows. Yes, I threw him out from my team, which means his sanity there will not go down. If I had deployed him through the box here, his sanity would be going down. But let's get this feed box built, and then we can upgrade the base to 4. Even though it doesn't really get us anything. Let's see, we need to build a berry plantation and deploy 4 pals. Well, we only have 3 beds. Let's go ahead and build another. Oh, nope, more wood. And I seen our axe is about to break, so. Right? Oh no, the club's about to break. We'll have to fix that before we go do a dungeon here. Which, given it's daytime, once he's done with those arrows, we might go see if we can find a Nightwing first. Just because having a mount would be so much nicer. And then we wouldn't have to fast travel around from our base. We could actually just go down, because right down over there, right there is another dungeon. Now, we don't want to necessarily repeat dungeons, given one of our made-up rules for ourselves here is, let me bring that up over here, is that we have to have all the dungeons done in Marsh Island Seabreeze Archipelago, Forgotten Island, and Plateau of Beginnings before we can move on to this 10 to 20 area. And then we got to have those dungeons done before we can move on to the Lake Center and Small Desert. Basically, I set that up so that we don't just go straight to this Mount Obsidian to get those Jorventide Ignises. Just wanted to slow it down a bit more patient with it. Anyway, bed. Because what I think we're going to do is build that berry plantation. And I was going to say deploy the pals, but we don't have enough pals. Because the only gatherer we have is that gathering is this leaf one here. Is on us, that Cativa. Because I don't think anybody else has... Oh, our Lee's Punk has gathering. Because we need a planter, a gatherer. Planter, gatherer, water for the plantations. And fortunately, our gatherer and waterer also have this transporting, which is the skill that will let them pick up the berries from the harvested plantation and bring them over to, well, this feed box is going to be the only place that has space in it because we don't have berries there and we don't have berries there. Let's see, so we built that. We need the plantation, which we need to learn. Right there. And what I'm going to do is that berry plantation requires 3 berry seeds. Not that big a deal right this second, but I'm going to grab 3 berry seeds, plunk them in my inventory so that it takes those instead of... oh, there we go. The seeds out of a random box. And also, while I'm here, we are going to put some stairs on right there. Pals don't really like to jump and climb, so this way it gives them a way up to the feed box and stuff. And our Pangolin, you can see it still says crafting up there, so he is still working away while we're working on other stuff. The higher level pals with the level 4 of that handiwork, or what was it called? Yeah, handiwork. So the Anubis has level 4. He crafts stuff a lot faster. Now, here again, he wants us to deploy 4 pals. When you're deploying these guys, like I said, they drop right behind the pal box there. It helps to not deploy all of them at once. You know, drop them, give them a chance to move, and then drop the next one. It wanted 4 of them. So I think the other one we're going to do is just the... Yeah, let's do the lamb ball, I think. Yeah. Let's do this swift lamb ball because he can run around and help do the transporting, and when you're swift in doing transporting, it's quicker than not. And basically I did that because it wanted 4 for us to be able to upgrade to base level 5. Now, that PAL gear workbench, we're going to need to be able to do the saddles here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and try and get that built. Actually, I think what we're going to do... Now, they built the arrows. I did grab them. Okay. It's easy to forget. Oh, well, crafting's done, and then leave the stuff in there. Let's go see if we can find a Nightwing. Because a mount would be great. And they, of course, fly, as birds tend to do. So we're kind of keeping an eye on the skies. Basically going to be taking that route I mentioned last time, where it's just we fast travel here, we just work our way down the hill to that fast travel. Nightwings are harder to catch. They are a bit more damaging than other pals, given their level. So that's why, you know, that level 9, it's like, oh, that would have been great. Can't reach him. Okay, fine. So we move on. The Mammorest, level 34, alone we wouldn't want to do. It has that red icon to the right of its name there. That means it's an alpha pal, which means it's going to have more HP, it's going to hit harder. It basically is just more of a fight than you might be expecting, given just the level requirement there. Still no Nightwing, unfortunately. The Mammorests do drop high quality pal oil, which is used a lot later in the game. Oop, got a chest up there. In other areas, you can find like 2 of them together, and they will be fighting each other. Okay, rock, not a chest. And that would be a way is to let them basically let them fight it out, and if the last one is weak enough, it's like, oh, I'm going to try and catch you. Doesn't always work. Is nice if it does. We're specifically just looking to see if we can find a Nightwing, so I'm kind of speed through a bit. What level was our Fox Park? 12. Not quite far enough. I was gonna say we could go after a boss. Yeah. With your pals in your team, don't let them drop their health drop below 50%, or their stats will start to slowly drop. Which means they're going to do less damage. They're going to take more damage because their defense is lower, their attack is lower. If you're using them for work speed, their work speed is slower. And we didn't get lucky on that run. But let's go around. Work our way back towards the settlement. Actually, we'll work our way towards where a boss is. There are 2, well, 3 technically versions of boss. Well, I guess technically 4. So in the dungeons, the instanced ones that are like we'll run here in a little bit there's a boss at the end, which is basically just a plain alpha pal, just bigger, stronger than the normal ones. Another version of a boss is also in a dungeon, but it's like a single room. So it's what they called a sealed dungeon. And those are... Oh, there's some people fighting... a dire howl. We may be able to catch one here. Looks like they're fighting each other. Oh no, they're fighting some floppies. We'll let them finish fighting first. And then we'll try and pick off the straggler, maybe. Or we may die. That may happen too here. You're kind of weak. Maybe. Maybe not. I didn't realize we had the pink gullet out there. I didn't dodge. You can see capture rate of 6. Yeah, that ain't gonna do nothing. Capture rate of 31. Our pal is about to die. Put that guy out. Hey, we got a dire howl. Good. Because we're about to die. Oh, what do you keep jumping back for? Oh, and our pal got knocked out. Well, and now I'm dead too. But we got a dire howl. We got him out. We can move around a little bit faster. And I'm not playing hardcore. Just remember that. That is not one of the rules. Not playing hardcore. So this is one way if you wanted a different starting location. You could just hit escape, hit respawn, and then you could pick one of these. These are all starting areas. So I think what I'm going to do, since we can always come right back to our base, is I'm going to pick one that's a bit further away. And I picked this one because I know there's a fast travel point literally right there. And now that means this place that's clear up here, we can come back to at any time. And let's go back to base. And that is one of the starting areas, so we are allowed to be there by our own rules. There you can see, box parks, incapacitated. We drop them in here. It has a timer, 10 minutes. We drop them there. Let's see if that is still the case. Yeah, see, now he's over here. He has major injury, he says. Come back over here. There's no timer. Bring him back up here. There's no timer. Drop him back in here. Still no timer. We can actually deploy him again right away. He's seriously injured, but we can deploy him again right away. So our Dire Howl is one we're definitely going to keep because no trait, so a traitless Dire Howl. Let's put him on the list here. We're going to leave him in the team for now, and basically I'm going to stick him in the Anubis, we're going to stick him in the Anubis spot for the moment. But Dire Howl, and I missed what he is. It is a he. Okay. And my sheet gave me an error here because it's set to get rid of the last two characters, and then there is no Dire Howl. There's a Dire Howl, but there's no Dire Howl. Okay, and that also means we can ride him once we learn the saddle and get that made. There he is at level 9. And you can see we have everything but wood. We need just a little bit more wood. Well, we still have an axe. And we still have some trees up here. Do that, and then we can get around easier to maybe find our flying mounties. Where's it going? Oh yeah, over here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that extra stuff. We got some mushrooms we can cook. Put him out. Another change, in case you've been playing it but haven't really gotten to it since the patch, is the campfires. Before, you could have like 10 campfires around you, and it would not increase the heat more than just that one. Now it will. You put 4 campfires out, you're basically in the volcano. You're going to take heat damage unless you're covered for it. Bear that in mind, especially if you're loading up an old save that has those, because you don't want to start taking damage when you're not expecting it. Okay, so to build that saddle, we are going to need that Pal Gear workbench, which we need cloth. 2 cloth. I believe we have enough wool. Oh yeah, we got enough wool. You can see right here we have 19 wool. It's going to take 4. We currently have 0. Let's get that made. Let's get that built. I know I'm kind of cramming things in willy-nilly here, but like I said, once we get stone, then we'll worry more about permanent locations and stuff. For our initial base, anyway. And 2, 1, built. Now, we used some wood, so we don't have enough. And good thing we got trees still. Now, the wood, stone, there are things you can build where pals that have mining and logging will be able to actually basically make stone and wood out of nothing for you. So, yeah, don't worry about running out of wood and stone, because eventually you'll have more than you know what to do with anyway. I don't know why I hit the max button. We only want 1. We only ever need 1. So, let's make that. And these things always take a little bit longer to craft, which is fine, because you really only ever craft 1, especially in a solo world. You're never going to need more than 1. At this point, we're just letting it go here. And then we'll be able to ride the Dire Howl around, and he can move a lot faster than we can. Even without the extra ability like that Lamball has Swift. You put that on a Dire Howl, they'll move even faster. And I know you could do like a Nimble, Runner, Swift. Those are the 3 working up from lowest to highest increases in speed. And actually attack on Lucky there, you get even faster yet. But then they're not as useful in your team for actually fighting stuff, which does come in handy. But now, Dire Howl, and we can ride him. And yeah, like I said, he's definitely faster than we are because I'm not sprinting. Now I'm sprinting. Now I'm not. He would be, oops. And I always mess up which button I'm hitting to get off him. With Swift, he would definitely be moving faster, but we don't have that yet. And actually, I know they just made some berries here. I'm going to take half the stack of these cooked berries and drop them in there so that our base pals don't, you know, starve. That would be a bad thing. Okay, so we're going to come back over here. And one thing when you're over here, don't accidentally throw your pal towards that guy, otherwise you start attacking him. Whether you mean to or not. And that is another thing too, it didn't let me ride him right away because I was right next to this stick and it thought I was trying to pick up the stick. So we're just going to do another run, only this time a faster run because we're moving faster. Trying to find that Nightwing we can get. I do know where a boss level Nightwing is that we can get, but he's level 19. He's also a lot harder than just catching a random one that's out in the world. That would not be an alpha boss pal. But this time we are going to work our way around towards the boss I was talking about earlier because there's a fast travel point near him. And then when it is time to take him out, then we can do that. And given the time, I think once we get there, if we don't see a Nightwing along the way, it's going to be time for a get up and move break. Because, yeah, I've been sitting here a while. You guys have been watching and listening to me for a while. Gives you a break from listening to me. Gives you a break to get up and move. Both good things. One thing, since I am on the Dire Howl, you can see the attacks there. It says Sandblast. It says Fierce Fang. That means I can control his attacks. You cannot dodge. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Still no Nightwing. Dang it. We might hit one as we're going here yet. Yeah, you can't dodge out of the way. You can sprint, you can keep moving, but you can control them. So if you're on a mount and you want to catch something too, just kind of keep and, you know, get a feel for how much damage they do. Let's see, which way did they want to go? So there's the Chillet up there. We're not going to actually fight him. Fortunately, he's a passive one. He won't fight you until you fight him first. But there is a spot up here that's good for some early game iron, coal, or not coal, but copper, whatever you want to call that. But there's the Chillipot. Dancer, what did he say? Dancer of the, on the plains, not of the plains. So I know we don't have a regular size Chillet to see, but this one's bigger because alpha, yeah, all that stuff. But when you're up here, right across this bridge, is a spot with a bunch of ore nodes. So when we get to the second base, you could build it here. I'm hoping by the time we get to second base, we're well within our abilities to go to another spot that has not only this ore, but also coal. But we'll see. Some of those self-imposed rules means, well, by the time we can go there, will be long after we can use the iron, I'm sure. But you will notice also I did not put world bosses in as one of the restrictions before we can move on to the next area. One of those reasons is that Mamarest is in the very first area, and he's level 34, so unless we want to wait until we're very high level, we're not going to take him out before we want to move on. And we're out running around, so we'll grab the spheres while we're out here. Ooh, a Nightwing. What level is he? Come on, level 11. It's going to be iffy, but we're going to, well, first we're going to get that. And then we're going to get off our pal. And then we're going to say, I think, oh, no, he was far close enough. So, as you can see, now that we're fighting him, I pulled the Dire Howl back so that he wouldn't have got damaged there by that tornado. I'm hoping we can get him. I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on his health and my pal's health. Oh, boy. I did not dodge. That's what that was. Hey, we got him. Hey, he's nimble too, so that's going to help. Now, as you can see, red halo around. I got that thing that says armor damage. Two separate things. The red halo around the edges of the corners of the screen is basically indicating, hey, you're below half health. Watch it. Hop back on here. And let's see. So we need to repair our outfit, but we also need to eat. Okay, there we go. So, we got our Nightwing. A nimble one, like I said, that's going to help because that'll increase his movement speed just a little bit because they're not the quickest. Oops. Yeah, see, I meant to hit F, not E. So let's F to dismount, E to pull him back in, which is what I was meaning to do there. Doesn't always work. But we are going to come back to the base. It has definitely been over an hour since we started streaming here. I'm going to do this. Still no way to pause the game while you're in it. You basically just got to return to title. And we're going to take a short break. So get up and move. And now, like I said, we have a timer that says, hey, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. See you then. Okay, we're back just a little bit early. Yes, I'm doing a quick game. There's a reason for that. I'm looking over at the Discord and it says there's a patch that fixes some stuff. So we're just gonna load this up. Guess what? It says it's patched already. Scheduled. Nope. Okay. So, Palworld. That should not take too long to patch. We're gonna patch it. We'll just watch it on screen while it does it. Downloading, 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 done downloading, patching. Don't think you can quite see it, but minute and a half remaining here, so not a big patch. But basically, they're saying fixed various game crashes, always good. They fixed the bug where breeding pals always had fixed passives, so now we can work on the Cativa when we get to that point. Let's see. It says they fixed an issue with the increase in condensing pals. We haven't even covered that yet. Dungeon fixed an issue where the innermost door would not open after defeating the boss of a random dungeon. Good thing we didn't do a dungeon quite yet either. Fixed an issue where the name of a pal would not change even after renaming them. We haven't renamed any pals yet. Server issues, which we're not on a server. This is an instance just on my computer. Not possible to search in Japanese or Chinese. So that if the server no longer registered on the server list, it will be re-registered without needing to restart the server. And another thing there. Anyway, this is one reason I joined the Palworld Discord. I would not have known about those patch notes. I heard the little notification, you guys probably heard it too, that said, hey, something made noise over here. I didn't look at it because we were streaming at the time. Still are, but you know what I mean. I didn't look at it because I was busy doing other stuff with you guys. And Palworld is patched. So let's start her back up. And now we'll never know what that bug was for the dungeon door not opening because we didn't run a dungeon while it was broken. Which is good. And back into the game we go. Let's switch that back to the game scene. There we go. Game scene now up and running. And let's see, where were we? We had damaged armor. So we need the repair bench. Not that it's all that great of armor, but to repair it, we need a cloth. So we still have wool left over. Let's make a cloth. And thank you, Modi, for the follow. And let's repair that. There we go. Now that little annoying thing is out of the way. Let's repair that club while we're in here. And the bow, we really don't want it to run out while we're in the middle of a dungeon, so let's repair that. Let's see, we got our Nightwing. And he's in okay for now, Nightwing. It's definitely not our final one by any means, because, yeah, we got to do the breeding and everything, but there's that guy. And it doesn't really matter where we have him in the list, just that we have him. And the saddle, like I said, I believe is level 12. Oh, okay, no, it's not. Let's see here. Looking through the list, let's see if we can find that Nightwing saddle. Uh-oh, it must be further down. Oh, there it is, 15. So we got to get up to 15. We need some iron ingots yet, too. So, what we're going to do now, we can, oh, wait, don't have it equipped, that kind of helps, is we're going to do a run and let's see if we can get some ore to get made into iron, or to get made into ingots. It doesn't really say if it's iron or not. But what we're going to do is come here, because we can only do about a node. Maybe we can do 2 nodes before we have too much weight. I did not mean to hit that button. I wanted that button, so that you guys can kind of see a bit better what's going on. Because there's that ore node right down here. Oop, nope, off the edge. There we go. And unfortunately, you still have to hold the button here. So we'll just hold this button. And a little bit longer. Remember, as it collects up, there's about 40 ore per node here. So, as we can see, we didn't even get halfway, so it's going to take 3 rounds of this. But that 40 ore translates into 20 iron, or 20 ingots. And I'm not going to let it go all the way, because we don't need a full run there. Remember from last time, you let that stamina bar get clear to the bottom, then you're going to have to let it fully refresh before you can do anything. You stop it a little early, then you don't have to wait that long. And speaking of waiting long, let's hop on our mount and move a little bit faster. To the next ore node, which is down over this way somewhere. Back over here. Stone. Oh, I thought there was an ore node back here. Okay, so it's been a while since I've been running around. There's one over there. We'll just go grab that one here and get that, and then head back to the base and let a Fox Parks get that going. Hit dismount, not attack. And so you guys can see what I'm doing here, which is literally just hitting a rock. Not quite Minecraft. Looks a bit better, but same premise. Gotta mine, gotta hit trees, hit stone. If nothing else, so that you can get pal spheres to catch pals. I mean, you don't need to get into the base building all that much. Definitely not into the decorative stuff. There are some rather impressive builds out there. If you go looking through YouTube and everything, there's some people that really take their time. They definitely have the eye that I don't have. When we build our base, it's going to be very functional, not very decorative. And as you can see, my weight getting up there to be at the limit. I figured 2 at this point is going to be about all we could do. And there it did it again. It thinks I was trying to pick up those red berries, so it's not letting me mount. There we go. That's better. And we could either run the rest of the way, or do the cheaty, this thing. Gonna hit the rock. Don't want to hit the rock. Because that, until that little spot right there, is even faster than just riding the dire howl down here. Okay, so we're gonna need our box. We need our furnace. Here we go. Do all of it. Because we're gonna need it. And hitting F doesn't do any good when you're trying to do that. Okay, apparently when that furnace is active, it adds heat too. As you can see, I'm hot. Look at my health. It's slowly going down. We definitely need to get a dungeon run so we can hopefully get some more heat protection. We'll just leave him alone for the moment. So, since I can't quite get over to the thing, other stuff we're gonna need. Thank you for the follow, Key Bunny. Some other stuff we're going to need to be able to build that saddle. Where'd we go? Right, 15. There we are. Leather, which we'll have to go hunting pals, definitely. The fox parks give leather. Some other mobs give leather too. And cloth, which means we're going to need wool, and I really don't think we had enough wool to do 10 cloth anymore. We do not. So basically, once he's done with that iron, we're going to go just get some stuff, basically. We'll just let that... Oh, can't even get there. I mean, we could probably do that. Yeah, there we go. Now we're not too hot back here. So I think while he is making those, we are going to just get some stone and stuff and just basically clear out these nodes because they will refresh once a game day. Not even a real game day. It's like if we slept through the night, it would count towards refreshing the nodes. I went too far down, so I can't start hammering away again until it was fully refreshed. Clear out the inventory a bit there. One thing I am curious to see is not the pack that we just installed, but the plain old 1.0, or what just got damaged. The plain old 1.5 patch was as the pals get near the edge of this blue circle, which is the edge of the base, before they would get, once they hit even just a little bit over, they just get confused. Am I in the base? Am I not in the base? Am I in the base? Am I not? They'll just bug out, basically. Supposedly they have that fixed, so it's going to be interesting while we're waiting around for the iron to cook, or the ingots to cook up, whether that actually did get fixed or not. I'm hopeful, because then you don't have to build defensive walls up here just to keep them from walking off the edge, which they do. I came back one time on my other playthrough and found, you see right here's the edge of my circle. I found some pals clear down there on that little bit there. I believe one was on that rock up there, and it's like, that's way outside the base. How did you guys even get there? Number two, we just interrupted our fox from doing what he was doing because I went outside the circle. So let's put him back on that. So that is one thing. Actually, we can see that. Right now I'm right in the middle. If we pick him up, that temperature bar dropped. So even though it wasn't mentioned, even the pals just doing their thing at a furnace is enough to increase the heat in the area. So I wonder if it increases the heat at the campfire too, so that it basically counts as 2 campfires at a time. Be interesting to find that out. We'll have to test that before we go by cooking some berries up here. Anyway, we were getting some ore while he was doing his thing. We just got to remember to stay inside that circle so we don't confuse him again. And at this point, we're just getting a little bit ahead of the game. Because while he's cooking that iron, we're also gaining experience. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near enough to get up to level 15 to be able to actually get that saddle for the Nightwing. But that is definitely our goal at this point. Once he's done with that iron, I think we're going to go run a dungeon. Though, and probably that dungeon down there because it's the closest by. Even though we don't have the Nightwing to be able to get back up top. Here I am switching around. See, I'm used to my last playthrough that I'm not having to hold a torch, so I have my axe and my pickaxe in hand at the same time. That's why I keep cycling through until I realize I don't have that here. Just chopping some trees out of the way. And then before we go, actually, while I'm thinking about it. Party, him. So if you wanted to get rid of an attack so that the pal, when you weren't on him, didn't use it, you'd basically right-click it to get rid of it. These skills are going to be in order from when you were writing it. So this first skill is going to be the left mouse button. And I kind of want that fierce thing to be that one instead of the sandblast because it is a fast recharge. Let's get rid of some carry weight there. And remember when I said for the wood and stone that there was something logging site stone pit. You build a stone pit as long as you have a pal with a mining skill at your base, he'll mine for stone at that pit. Same for logging at that one. So that if they're just working while you're away from the base or doing other stuff at your base, then you're getting stone, you're getting wood without having to actually work for it. Your pals are doing the work for you. Which, again, kind of the point of doing a base. So that you can do other stuff while they do that. And I'm kind of keeping an eye in the lower left corner there of the fox park. It says he's still working because it's got that hammer hammering away. See, technically that's outside the circle, but as long as we don't go outside the circle, he'll keep working away. There we go. You can see without the trees, there's a lot more room up here too. 20 to 45. He's got a ways to go yet. Yep, see, let's get him some food too. It's one reason to get that small feed bag as soon as you can too, is because then they feed themselves. You just need to keep food in this first slot here. And then when they get down to half health, even in your party, and even yourself, they'll automatically eat the food there. Makes it much less of a hassle to have to worry about, okay, do I need to feed them? Although that does add a mechanic when you're fighting in dungeons or going against the boss. It's like, okay, did I remember to feed them before the fight started? And later on, there are different meals you can get besides at the at the campfire. There's a cooking pot where you can make, that'll combine ingredients to make a meal. And some of those meals will give you like bonuses to attack, bonuses to defense, bonuses to move for just a little while. And that comes in handy. Okay, that's all the wood. 34. Getting closer. Hopefully by the time we have... Oh, see, almost forgot again. Hopefully by the time we get this stone up and maybe make a few arrows. Because we're at... Yeah, let's make a few arrows. Get us up to at least 100. That way when we go into the dungeon and we start fighting, we don't have to worry about running out of arrows. Because as you'll see in the dungeon, the arrows will come in handy. Some of the mobs in the dungeons will still run away from you. Getting closer. And that time I didn't let it get clear to the red, so I can finish it up without having to wait for it to fully recover. And there. Nothing but space up here. And when you're at the base for a long time, one thing to, let's see, that's good enough. I was just checking to make sure I had plenty of durability on the axe, because in the dungeons we might find coal, we might find sulfur. There's larger stacks of palladium there. Arrows, so we wanted about 30 arrows, so if we just do that, that'll get us close enough. And as you can see, the lamb ball was just out running around, so he's going to come over here and help us craft these arrows up. to 42 ingots, so yep, we'll be pretty good on what we're doing here. Number 44 done. So this is his last ingot. We'll let him get that made. And one thing I noticed was I basically put away all my food. So I'm going to hold that shift and take just half a stack of that back. Actually, no, I'm not. Because what I'm going to do is put that campfire down here now. So he's done with that. Pull him back. Looking at the heat, you can see he stopped, so that heat needs to be able to keep that up. That heat drops, so that little right next to the sun that tells us how far through the day we are, there's our heat meter. So it kind of dropped back towards that cold just a little bit. So what we're going to do, actually what we're going to do is let's do the campfire thing first. So, food, campfire, build. And then they all come over and help. Okay, so that, you see, rose our heat back up. So let's set a recipe. Cook all those berries. Oh, I meant that one. And yep, just the PAL working raises the heat. Because it raised it even that little bit more. But because the day, well no, day's only half done. So apparently he's doing less heat now. So let's help him finish up those berries here quick, and then we're going to go do a dungeon quick. And, actually, while he does those, let's see, we are on... Nope, not there. Not there. Nor there, nor there, nor there. Plateau of Beginnings, that's where we are. Not the liftman, the dungeon. Okay, so we are going to go do, I seen it was already had that dark, so it is active. We're going to go do that dungeon because it's the first one. And let me just save that quick. I know it's not done yet, but it's going to be. Oh, what the heck? There we go. Finish up these berries, and these berries will just keep for food, for fighting in the dungeon. As you can see, I'm gaining levels, so are all the pals in my team. As the pals that we have deployed around the base do their work, they will also gain experience. Fortunately, right now, there's literally not much to do for work, so they're not really getting stressed, so the cooked berries are more than enough. Technically, I think even the uncooked berries would be enough because they catch up at nighttime. So that gives us all that. Oh, but we do want to get rid of those iron bars. That would weight us down so that we would not be able to get as much stuff. Okay, and want that, we want that, we want that. Okay, we're good there. So, take him back. Nope, nope, just pick him back up. There we go. So, the quickest way to get down there, since we don't have our flying mount yet, is this guy. And we'll just run up stairs. Yeah, sometimes they still get stuck in little spots like that. We're basically just going to go down, out, and around. And one thing I don't think they've fixed yet is something kind of cheaty. Even non-flying mounts don't take fall damage. So we got down to this dungeon really quick. Much quicker than we should have. And we are level 13. The dungeon is level 13, so let's hope we're gonna be okay. Like I said, these are one of the random dungeons. I think we're gonna throw out this guy because he's gonna do the best ranged damage. And nope, I don't want you to hit me. Nope. I'll hit you though. Okay. Now, one thing in dungeons is your pals can get stuck really easy. And like I said, here's big node of paldium. So if we needed to mine a bunch up, this would be what we'd go for. Here's some ore. I'm not all that concerned with it at the moment. If it was sulfur or coal, we would probably grab it. Ow. There's a reason I don't play first-person shooters. I don't quite have the reflexes. I still have not quite figured out how I do that little backflip thing. And our fox parts got stuck. There, fight. There we go. There are better weapons. I think even at this point we could make a spear instead of the club. I know there are other... There we go. There are other even ranged weapons that would do more damage too, but like I said, I like the controllability of the old bow. The handgun, the crossbow, it kind of does a set amount of damage. You're not going to be able to say, oh, well, I only want to half load this bullet. That don't work. Or only half load this crossbow. It don't let you. Let's see, I think that's iron. Or whatever, yes. Sometimes it's hard to tell from a distance what some stuff is. Now, we came into a different room. When we go back, those mobs or different mobs are going to be there. And basically what I do when I come in these is I stay right. No. I want you to fight. Fight, fight, fight. Because I want to catch. Maybe. There we go. Because experience. And maybe I should have made a shield before we came in here, because I'm going to die if I don't pay attention. And guess what? I just died. Well, things happen when you don't pay attention. Let's go grab this one that has a fast travel point right next to it. At least my pal didn't die. I did, but my pal didn't. Okay, now we got that fast travel point. Let's come back up here. Now, I don't think it's going to let us back in that dungeon, but we'll see. Okay, so while we're here, technology, I don't think we're up to the second shield yet. We're not at 16. So let's just make this one quick. That'll help me. The pals are smarter than I am at that point. Okie dokie. This time, let's be a little bit more attentive. Let's put it that way. Attentive. Oh, why is that? I haven't done a whole lot of dungeons even on my own. I did fail one once at the boss, and then it took forever. to come back up. I don't know if it was just that specific dungeon, but this one down here on other playthroughs, I've beaten multiple times. Hey, it is still open. Must be because we didn't get to the boss. I've beaten this one multiple times. It must have a really quick respawn. Yeah, so I think this is going to be the same dungeon because that countdown timer was still there and going. So this time, you know what? Unless they fight me, I don't think I'm going to fight them. Like, these ones are going to fight me. And I don't want them to fight that one. I want them to fight. Actually, you know what? Fight the cat. And the cat's doing pretty darn good. And he's stuck in the wall. Okay, good. I can hit him. Oh, and now he's really stuck in the wall. Early access. Glitches happen. Yeah, I'm not worried about catching you yet. We got plenty of dungeons. We can always come back. Ah, no. Anyway. Do the same. Stick to the right. The cats, you can put those in a ranch and they will drop coin. Not too worried about it. There's a mob called the Vixie. They will drop coin and regular pal spheres and arrows. So if we see a Vixie out in the world, we may try and catch it just so that we can do that, because if you're doing a bunch of other stuff and that Vixie is just at the ranch doing its thing, you'll have more pal spheres than you know what to do with. At least I have in the past. Maybe not everybody's the same, or likes to take things as slow. I focus on the base a lot. And nothing back. Oops, over this way. So in some areas there might be that, but not in this one. So back we go, getting stuck on a rock. Sometimes, I tell you. We're back here. This is not going to be the right way, but there's going to be a chest. And apologies if you can hear the pounding of the people upstairs. Apparently they decided to come home and have a dance party or something. We're just going to let the pals do the work here because they were doing a better job of it than I was. We'll just keep an eye on his health, make sure he does not die. Okie dokie. Oh, it's thinking I'm trying to pick up that pal sphere. No, I want to ride the dire house. There we go. Thank you. You can move quicker than I can. Well, keeping right means we go this way. And we are going to run into some more fuddlers that aren't aggressive. Some more cats that also aren't aggressive. Soft mouse, cats, they're cats. Some syndicate thugs who are aggressive. And running into a rock. Because the pathing AI is still not exactly. fact, come here. I can aim you better. Maybe. There's one. Two. For some reason, I can jump. Okay. And this is the only reason we even fought them, is because there was going to be a chest in here. And even the gold ones, they got those small pal souls. That's how you increase stats for your pals at base. When we get to that point. Really don't want to waste them on a pal that we're going to just breed for better stats later on. And keeping to the right, one of these is going to be where we need to go. So nothing there. Either going to be that way or this way. Keeping right would say we should have went the other way, but let's go look this way quick. Yep, and if we go the other way back there, then that's going to be where the boss is. And there's not going to be a chest in here, I don't think. Well, let's look. I didn't see any syndicate. Oh, there's a chest. Okay. Looks like all we had were the Paldium nodes in this map, so we didn't get any sulfur or coal. Not that we could do anything with it quite yet. Soon, not yet. Yeah, it's not letting me jump because I ran a stamina clear down. And one thing, when I ran through the water, you could see the water dripping off of them, and as soon as it stopped, I started moving faster, so... There is a debuff for being wet. And here is, with the tree, the boss room. And the boss we get... Hey, that's handy. That's the Vixies I was just talking about earlier. We are going to switch to our fox. I'm going to get those guys aggroed. So that hopefully we can get the little guys out of the way. And then we can focus on the big guy while our Fox Parks does the damage. So we can try and catch the alpha. Because if I'm behind him, I get a better catch rate. While he's on fire, we get a better catch rate. Only 8% right now. See? Took damage at 13. He's under 100. That's as much as we're going to push it. Nope, I want you in the ball. Nope, I have 49 more chances, guy. There we go. Hey, and it got us a level. And there was, you didn't see it because I didn't look over this way, there was a barrier here to keep you going through. I'm guessing that was not dropping when, that's what that patch note was talking about. So we have completed this dungeon. We got a crossbow schematic, and it is uncommon, so it's going to be better than the one we can just learn up here. And we got an attack pendant, which slightly raises our attack. Honestly, accessory slots are going to be used for something else once we get them, but we didn't get any this time. But that's it for the dungeon. We have completed said dungeon. Now, unfortunately, no quick way back. Since we still can't fly. We're still not level 15. We need one more level. I mean, because our base is literally right up there we can see the blue line down here from it. So we gotta take the long way back. I ain't seen one of you guys back here before. Right over here. And up here. And I'm probably gonna run out of stamina because I was doing those rolls. And now we gotta let it recover. Let's try that again, shall we? Really? Huh. That's different. I don't remember having that issue before. Try this way. There, we made it. Now we don't have anything else to climb, so we can just go up the regular way here. Oop, over, there we go. Chest. All this just to get back to our fast travel point because we don't have the saddle for our flyer yet. What a pain. Gonna be so much easier once we get that. Okay, but back here we leveled up, so let's enhance our stats. And at level 14, oops, wrong thing. There we go. At level 14, we were gonna get more stamina, was probably would have helped us. Maybe we should have done that before we started climbing back. Still base level 5. One more level. One more level. But at that, we can learn that. A spear workbench. These will have a higher catch rate. As you can see, though, it requires ingots, not just wood, stone, and the paldium fragments. Nails. Let's see, I believe I learned nails. Did I not? I did. So let's make some nails. Let's get that sphere workbench made, and then we'll see what we can craft of the mega spheres. I don't know if it's correct, but I did see... There we go. I did see somebody post about, like, the sphere levels and say, hey, basically this first tier is good up to 9. Next tier would be good up to 19. Seems to make sense. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. It basically leaves the legendary, the top tier sphere, just for level 50s. I mean, math seems to kind of work, but whether that's an actual case or not, I don't know. I mean, it's no different. It might end up being no different than me and my having the base level be, my level has to be 2.5 times the base level. I mean, once I hit level 50, then the base max level is 20, and that matches up. I don't know. I haven't really dug into that much because I haven't gotten so far that I'm worried about catching stuff. I get far enough that I start breeding everything. Okay, we got the nails. Let's build that sphere workbench, mate. And one thing to note, when we eventually destroy our PAL box to rebuild it after we get a stone foundation under it, I did not realize this. It always warns you, hey, some things may be lost, etc., etc. Basically, everything will stay, except any PALs you might have deployed. They'll drop into spheres that you have to pick up. But anything built under this PAL tab will basically break. So in this case, if we broke it right now, our sphere workbench would break. But there we go. So PAL spheres, let's see, we needed how many ingots to make that saddle? Because we don't want to use that many. Wait, we don't even have it yet. We gotta look this way. So we want to keep at least 15 iron. So the easy way for me to do that, max minus, because it takes 1 ingot per. Well, we only have, so that would mean we need to want to keep 35. We're only going to use 32. We're good. Let's just make those. Then once we get these made, then we'll go make a couple runs to get some leather and some wool for cloth. Because we're going to need that. And getting rid of some pals will also get us some experience. I don't think enough to get up to that level. But we can mine some palladium along the way, and maybe some ore. Taking longer than I thought. I don't know why I keep looking. Okay, I guess my character's kind of looking at the saw. Whatever. And that is definitely something I hope they eventually fix. This Pengullet is watering the berry farm, which is clear over there, so he's basically shooting water across half the base, which really they can't do, but they do the same thing vertically too. I've built up 3 floors before, and they'll be on the bottom floor doing something on the top floor, or on the top floor doing something on the bottom floor, and it's like, how? It's like they get confused about how far away they are from their job and what they're doing. So I don't know. I need to stop and eat though. Wait, we got bread. Let's eat bread. And something. Okay. There we go. We got some megaspheres now. So if we find something really good, then we know we can try and catch it and hopefully have a better chance. So basically that Vixie, when I was trying to catch it, I would have done it with the megasphere because it had such a low chance with the blue ones. The regular PAL spheres. There we go. And the Vixie, you can see, is an alpha. It was a boss. It is a work slave, which means work speed, which does not affect pals that are in the ranch. Just as a heads up. It is level 11, but yeah. Alpha pals will be physically larger, as you've seen when we were fighting them, than the regular pal. The Fuddler does mining. So if we dropped him in the base, he would mine up the stone nodes, which are literally just, I think that one literally just popped back in. There was one over here. Right? Yeah. So if we give it a moment here, we'll spend a minute standing here just to watch this other node pop back in because it's been a day since it was mined out. There, you see, it just popped in because literally 1 game day ago, I finished mining it. Why were you walking on the campfire and not catching on fire? Whatever. Anyway, let's clear out our inventory a bit, get rid of the stuff we don't need. We didn't do any mining. This one. There, we used up all the palladium, so it opened up a spot. I'm just going to dump that in. Because we don't need the crossbow schematic at the moment. Technically, we don't need these at the moment. Nor do we need that at the moment. The medical supplies, as says there, it doesn't heal when eaten. However, it will cure the status of colds and sprains, which are two of the statuses that your pals can get if their sanity drops below a certain point when they're working in the base, basically. We have a few things there we can sell, so we're going to run to the merchant over here just to clear up inventory space a bit. There we go. And jump to stop and finish running, and here we go. So, sell that. It says literally can be sold to merchant for a high price. That's literally what it's for. Same for the ruby. Sold for a high price. Literally what it's for. Okay, so that Vixie we were going to keep, but that Fuddler really did not actually do anything for us. So we're going to quick sell him. And while we're here, let's look at his buy list. So, no. Again, no. The bottomless stomach would mean he would eat a lot, and it's like, so serious, if we were doing it, we could consider that, but we're not doing serious in this run. So we're not buying any of those. But now we're back over here. On our mount. So we are after wool, so clam balls. We missed him. Nobody saw that. I don't know what you're talking about. What the heck? Oops. I pushed him. One thing to remember is, there we can kind of see it, that crosshair there is in the middle of the screen. I'm setting slightly off the crosshair. And that always throws me off when I'm trying to aim up shots without actually thinking about it, is I will aim in front of me, not at the middle of the screen where it says I'm aiming. One thing to keep in mind if you're having trouble too. Another thing to keep in mind, those things will just keep going and going and going. Let's see, we needed some paldium because we were completely out. And it looks like we are at another break time, so I'm just going to mine this one up. Let's recall that. Let's do a return to title since we still can't pause the game in the middle of the game. Which I understand for servers, but for solo play, you'd think you'd be able to. We are going to take one more move at time before the end of the stream, so I will be back in about 10 minutes. Sorry, 5 minutes, not 10. 5 minutes. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. There's that timer. Less than 5 minutes now. See you in a bit. It lies. I'm not late. I don't know what you're talking about. I was not distracted by something else. Well, let's get back in that game and get some more paldium and then get the leather and wool for the saddle that we can't quite make yet because we need to increase the level. But if we have the materials, then we're set once we get there. And if we go on a catching spree or something with some pals that we don't have 10 of yet, it does not take much. I mean, even just literally collecting the stuff on the ground gives you not a lot, but it does give you stuff. Or XP and stuff. Now, if I wanted to be more efficient, I could catch... Oop, that's not who I wanted to throw out. This guy. I could catch the pals instead and then sell them. Wow. Remember, offset. He was jumping. Okay, so when they're rolling at you and you do that fierce thing, they really go. Yeah. Anyway, what we're doing. I forgot what I was saying before I fought those two. Oh, yeah, remember, offset. You're offset from where you think you are. And some things do have an arc, so if I aim just above, I'm going to hit him then. There is a range. And one good thing about that fierce thing is it moves you up next to him, and hey, I just hit 2 of them instead of just 1. Let's see, we still need Paldium too, because we were completely out of that. Oop, moved away. I'm back, I'm back. Let's get that guy. Another one right over here. See, I'm pressing F, but it thinks I was trying to pick up that piece of wood instead. So it doesn't let me dismount. I really hope they change the dismount button so it's not F. Actually, I think that's one of the things they changed is you can change controls of everything. So let's see. Mount, dismount. Is there going to be a button for that? Interaction 1. That's going to change more than just that. Partner skill is F. Let's see, does it use... So if we change it to something completely different like X. X is not being used, I don't think. So if we hit X. Nothing. Let's see if that does it. If not, we can always move it back. Partner skill. X. Guess what? I wasn't paying attention. Options. Controls. Partner skill. X. Back. Apply change settings. Yes. X. Oh, good. X to dismount. Now, we can hit F and pick stuff up. We can be looking at something and still dismount. No. Wow. That's something completely different. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then we're just going to leave that as F, since that's what we're used to at this point. Apply. Yes. I heard a lamb. 2 little lambs. Sorry, I'm not in sheep's clothing. Yeah, stop it. Fox parks. They will give us leather. A little bit harder. Completely missed him. Oops. By the way, mounted. You can still hit him. Now, to fire with your weapon while mounted, you have to aim. Otherwise, it's going to default to their default. We need the wolf. We definitely don't want to accidentally fight him. Him, on the other hand, we can fight because we haven't caught any of them yet. Now, that said, let's look at the... I'm going to guess the chicken's going to be full. Okay, 20% with the regular pal sphere. 46% with the green one that we just made. That is the point of making the upgraded pal spheres, because then we can catch stuff easier. Let's see here. We got some more leather here, and then we'll go see where we're at, and maybe we'll go somewhere and do some actual catching and stuff instead. Sure, we dismount and he gets up instead of me. Huh, I see how it is. I guess I was riding him. Must not have enjoyed it. Okay, let's see where we're at here. So, we've been gone a while. You can see they've been doing the berries. We did some of that, so let's do that. Let's let him cook a bit. Drop some stuff off. Oops, that's right, because we put that in the way. There we go. So, when we get the level... Yeah, see, so we could make a metal sphere and do more damage in melee. Better for you to be out of melee, but as you can see, some of the, or saw some of those syndicate guys kind of get into melee range rather easy. So leather, we still need 3 more leather. We need a total of 10 cloth, which we can make now. Making 10 cloth costs 20. We have 43. We have plenty. So let's get that cloth made quick here. Okay, there's the cloth, and we can just dump that in. In a chest. These regular chests, by the way, have 9 spots. Or 10 spots total. That's why I knew to grab just 9 seeds, because I put one thing in there. And we're just doing this so they don't dump stuff in. You can see it's kind of easy to double click. At least for me it is. And, oh, come on. There we go. We got some wild pals approaching. We still can't fly. Dang it. Now, what we can do, since they still are apparently ignoring us because they can't get to where they think they need to be. Oopsie. Let's not use the good ones on these guys. They're only levels 1s and 2s. Now, some attacks, if I tried to attack, it would act like they're still trying to attack the thing that's in the ball. Ooh, Artisan. I think that's one of the ones we need. 23, 24%. He's going to bump out. Yep. Damage him. 70%. That's why you damage him a bit first. Unless you can get it straight off the first one. We're down here. We may as well mine this up quick. Because we don't have our flyer yet, we can't get up top without climbing. I know we could climb, but we also need some leather yet, so we'll take the long way down. Get some leather. Hopefully 3 more leather. That's what we needed. Hopefully 4, so we can still have one in spot. And yes, I know, we could go to the merchant, we could buy it. We need the experience anyway at this point. And I wasn't paying attention. The bar filled up. I could have started fighting it while we were talking. Eventually I'll get the hang of this, but I know people that have been streaming a lot longer than I do, and they still have the same issue. Dreamer brain, as they call it. Come on, almost there. There we go. Oops. Nope, I wanted to actually do that. There we go. And it's getting dark, so let's get that torch out so we can see. And then the path up from down here is kind of windy, and you don't want to fall off. Basically down there, back around. Definite windy S-curve kind of thing here. Looks like it's time for the regular mobs to start going to sleep. Now we could go hit that fast travel, but we, like I said, needed the leather. And one thing about coming down here at night, if we see some fox parts, they're a lot easier to see in the dark because they're still on fire and glowing. Two crates would give us more. Actually, I think I went past them. Oh, we haven't even caught any Who crates. So you know what? One thing that is easy to forget when you are right up on top of them and throw the pal sphere, it's like it misses no matter what. Hey, there's our level 15. We get the leather, we can start flying. Really? Really? Fine. He didn't want to be caught. He refused. Anyway, I was starting to catch those because we needed the experience anyway to get up a level. So we may as well catch them. And they have the Who Crates have a partner skill that raises the attack of a dark pal in the party by 10% per level of the partner skill. So if you have a dark pal as your main attack, and you have 4 Who Crates, that's 40%. If you max out their attack, that's 50% per Who Crate. That's 200% increased attack damage. We're going to see if we can't. Missed him again. Concentrating. Aw, didn't actually want to kill him. Oh well, he gave us the leather apparently. And we are hungry apparently too. Oh, and so is he. Doesn't help that I was letting him get damaged so much. Anyway, back to the fast travel. Back to the base. And while we are here, go ahead and get our level increased. We can now get to, like that, a weight of 9, and we can increase our base level. That's good. I gotta build up a statue of power yet. Anyway, let's put stuff away. Hey, we got a silver key somewhere. Probably from that raid. We gotta learn the saddle before it'll let us craft the saddle. We still need 2 more leather. Counting is hard when you're not paying attention to what you're getting. But gives us some more chance at the Who Crates here. And there's another one. Yes, I seen a pal that the Presso we haven't gotten yet. We'll worry about them later. I'm more worried about getting the leather so we can fly before the end of the stream here. But the Who Crates, since they're out, we may as well grab. And there we go. 2 more up over this way. He saw us and don't like us. I get it. Did not actually mean to. Oh well. Happens. There were a couple Who Crates up over this way. We hit them just right. We hit both. I know, low chances on both. Got one. Oh, really now? Really now? Are you sure about that? Oh, he's level 6. I thought he was another level 4. Oh, well. There we go. There we go. So, just 2 more Who Crates. Oh, that's good. 2 more Who Crates, and we got all of them. Another Nightwing doesn't do any good at the moment, but I mean 11. He could be better than the one we got. Oh. Cliff. And since we were on the better sphere, we got a better capture chance there. And we got him. Nimble. Isn't that what we got before? I think it is. Let's see. Leather. We were after leather. Armor's damaged, which means basically it's doing nothing other than temperature protection at this point. Let's... We go... Trying to think where we might see some of them, and that's... Well, maybe if we go this way. He'd be good for lumbering. Aha! Oh, hey, we're literally running past them. Hey, motivational leader. Oh, whoops, I forgot to change back. Let's not use the expensive ones. We don't have that stuff set up yet. But we do now have... Oop. Yes, there. Fast travel. Go. Sufficient stuff. I'm trying to get back to... There we go. To do the saddle. Put that there. Put that back in there. We can make the saddle. Let's get that going and then we can fly. Can't fly very quickly, but we can fly. Okay, taking longer than I thought. So, once we get this, we can fly. That means we can get the Lift Monk energies. That means we can get to the harder to reach dungeons. So I think once we get this, we are level 14, 15. Our pals are a bit stronger now. We might go take out that Chillet alpha boss. That will give us an ancient technology point. And then we could get the egg hatcher thing. And then we can start picking up eggs that we see and hatch them into pals instead of going out hunting them down and catching them. Or we could get the food bag and not have to worry about feeding the pals in our team. We just have to worry about making sure we have food on us. Or we could save it up and do the lantern by taking out another boss, which I know there's an easier one we can get to as well. It's also around level 11. It's a Gumas. It's down by that other fast travel point we grabbed when we died earlier. It doesn't really get us anything other than an extra inventory slot. But for streaming purposes, it would allow us to... Let's see, I need one cloth. Let's repair our armor quick here. For streaming purposes, and since I'm uploading these VODs to my YouTube as well, it would give us the ability to not have to worry about how dark it is. And that might be what we do. So, let's go take out Chillet. Well, wait though. That hip lantern might be further down. Yeah, that's at 22. We got time to get that. So, What we might do is both and get the egg and the small feed bag, and then once we get to the point of, yeah, let's do that. So, chill it. This one's the closest one. And now that we can fly, now climbing, their stamina drops. Climbs faster than a one without nimble. Yeah, nimble definitely makes a difference. You guys aren't seeing it. I can see it because I've been flying with a Nightwing for quite a while. Let's see. We're fighting ice. We're gonna fight ice with fire. We haven't really got into the typings here. Let me bring up my notes here. So we have neutral is at the bottom of the list. They're not strong against anything. Dark is strong against neutral. Dragon is strong against dark. Ice against dragon. Fire is good against ice and grass. They're the only ones good against two things. You got water, electricity, ground, etc. So we're going to want to use our Fox Parks against this Chillet, which is ice-based. Did I actually bring him out? No, there. We're going to want him out because he can't really fight if he's not out. And the Chillet is trying to run away from us. I have never seen him go over the bridge. I don't want you to go over there because it's not going to be easy to fight you. We do want to switch our sphere up. Ooh, yeah, we don't want to stand there and just get hit. Trying to keep an eye on the Fox Park as well. Some attacks can't be avoided, unfortunately, for some reason. Oh, that's not good. Hey, you, stop it. 50% chance? I'll take that. Odds? Okay, apparently not. 28 health. Let's bring in our little Fox Parks here so that we can maybe not kill this guy. There we go, we caught it. And it's a coward, of course. But let's get back over to this guy. Fly back over this way. You can see I'm getting turned around because I'm not watching the little things up top. Hey, it says there's a fast travel point, 115 meters this way. Let's go that way because that's where we're trying to get to. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the time too here. This ain't taking too long, but if we get both of these done, get the things crafted, then we might quick go do that dungeon that's over by that tower. Now, Gumas is clear down here up the beach. I know we haven't uncovered it yet, but I fought him before. This is within our... This is the Sea Breeze Archipelago, so it's still within our starting zones. Here's I'll talk to this person while we're here. Go. And we're hot, so we're taking damage. Oh, I'm guessing from their campfire. Okay. Learned some new stuff. There are armors we can craft already that protect against hot and cold. Instead of just a little bit of cold like our current cloth armor does. But there are also t-shirts that do the same thing and can fit in the accessory slot. That's what I'm hoping we'll get in one of those dungeons. That first dungeon that we ran, and those chests, the first couple times I ran it on my last playthrough, I ended up getting like 3 cold shirts. And it's like, I can only use 2. But it meant, okay, well, I only need to craft the heat armor then. And there's our boss, Aguma, level 11. He is ground. So unfortunately, we do not have a grass type on us. So no matter what we fight with, it's going to be neutral damage to him. I'm going to fight with this guy just to see how he does. Because his attack... Oh, yeah, don't do that. When he runs up on him, He just keeps going and 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 going. Look at him go. Holy cow. Okay, that did a heck of a lot better than I thought it was going to do. Yeah, that did a lot better than I thought it was. He did better than the fire guy did against the... Wow. That is somewhat surprising how well that did. Especially since he is, if I recall... yeah, he's only got like a plus 5% to attack, so... Huh. Interesting. It does not show any fast travel points, but I know off to the west is one, so that will come in handy later. Because there is a sweeper boss to the south of it. I think it's basically due west here, yeah. So we're going to go grab that, use that to get back to the base, and then we'll build those couple items. Ooh, purple chest. You almost want the regular gold chests, because the purple chests will never have the PAL souls in them. Even though they're supposed to be, they'll have more. I was just trying to pick up that spear guy. Thank you. Because the PAL souls, like I said, can be used to increase the stats of your PALs, base PALs, and the PALs and any PALs you have. So they're almost more useful than having more gold, which you can always cook berries and sell them. I know before the patch yesterday, you could craft nails and sell those for a lot. Apparently they decided, nope, that's not intended, that's the bug. He did not want me to go past him, apparently. I think I'm getting turned around. I think I needed to go up that way. But, chest. There's a chest. So what we're going to do, get off. Switch pals. Get on him. All I did was a quick one press of the space bar to climb, or rise as it says. And I'm not currently rising more, but since I'm technically flying at this point, that means I'm losing stamina. That's why for a mount you definitely want swift at least, because they'll travel faster. Because as you can tell down here, I'm slower than what the fox or the dire howl is. So ground, definitely. Dire howl, flying. We only have one choice at this point. But let's get down here. Oops. See, nope, I meant to get off and switch. Oh. I hear a lucky lamb ball. Hey, lucky lamb ball, you want to be my pal? I'm sure you do, don't you? Oh, come on, you know you do. Don't know if you guys can hear it. Hopefully you can. That sparkly sound in the background. Ooh, that's actually one we can probably use for a base pal. Lucky Artisan. And I will show you what lucky means when we get back. Level 11 Sweeper. We are not going to fight him at the moment. We're going to save him for later when we actually need the point. But the fast travel point for him is literally just up this way. Right over there. So lucky is a trait when you're breeding. You cannot randomly get that trait. There are certain traits you can randomly get and certain traits you absolutely cannot. Legend, lucky, those you cannot get through breeding random pals. You have to have a parent with that trait to be able to pass it on to a kid. Okay, so level up, level 16. We are going to health. Skill base level 6. Okie dokie. Let's drop off some stuff. So the lucky pal, that land ball that we caught, as you seen, it was larger. Just the lucky trait is not enough to give it that. It's the fact that it was a random encounter that made it basically an alpha pal. And it's lucky gives you plus 15% work speed, which makes it good for at the base. It gives you plus attack, which makes it good for out in regular battle, too. In this case, Artisan also gives us 50% work speed. So right there with just this combo is a 65% increase to work speed. So does not affect farming, which is when you put them in the ranch, but transporting and handiwork, that's going to help with that. Well, with the handiwork anyway. I'm not sure that that affects transporting. Transporting, I believe, is more just the level, which affects how much they can carry, and speed. So like if he had swift, he'd move between the boxes quicker. But he's definitely one we're keeping, so let's drop him in this box. And that Vixie, because it's a Vixie we want to keep, let's drop it in that box. And then waterproof doesn't really get us anything. He's an alpha pal. Other than that, it's like Argumas is 10. So as you can see, alpha pal status doesn't really affect health all that much. There's not a huge difference there. The attack, defense, those could easily be just their inherent values or whatever they want to call them on here. They're IVs, which is basically a hidden stat that says, well, their stats can actually be between here and here. This guy's inherent value means it's closer to the upper end, lower edge, etc., etc. So that's within error. It doesn't really grant anything extra there. Let's quick look through. Artisan we'll definitely want to keep. Theories we're not doing. Vanguard, were we doing Vanguard? I think so, yes. Just in case we do the who creates thing. Vanguard is one we want because, well, it'll help. There's a trait list. Motivational leader. Wait, I don't think I were... No, we're not doing motivation. Early coward. Okay, so these ones we're keeping for sure. Trait list who creates. Goes clear back here. Female, so this side. And they go at the beginning of the list. Because of breeding power, which I know we still haven't covered. Eventually. We're not there yet. Vanguard is in box 4 at the bottom, and this one was a male. Oh, nope. That, not the other. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Middle bottom. And then we have an artisan. Male. Lee's Punk. Box 3. And that lucky artisan for sure we're keeping. Eventually we might try and breed out that lucky trait. Or breed out the artisan trait and leave just lucky. Or when we start doing base pals, it might just happen that we get it. Because a lucky artisan is definitely something we'll want at some point to breed with. So, lucky artisan will want to try and breed with a swift workaholic for what I'm considering our ultimate base pal. because I know we can do artisan, serious, etc., etc., etc. But it's like, okay, they're an artisan that increases just craft speed. I'm trying to mix it up a bit. So artisan, workaholic, lucky, and swift. Mainly because artisan for crafting, workaholic because their sanity will drop less, lucky for crafting again, and swift because they'll be able to move between their tasks quicker. So that's what I'm aiming for. For an attack pal, for my mount anyway, these are the ones I'm aiming for. Lucky for attack, legend for attack and speed and defense. Now, legend, that's the ultimate attack pal we're not going to get till near the end game because you need to get a pal with legend on it. Swift for speed because mount, speed. Musclehead for just out and out attack. And then if we do supporting pals, like we're not going to actually fight with them, but they'll be in the team, these are the ones we'll go for because logging foreman will make us mine trees faster and better. Well, not faster, but more efficiently. Mine would be the ore nodes. Stronghold strategist would increase our defense. Vanguard would increase our attack. So that's what we're going with there. Or at least that's the goal there. Okay, so these all are ones that can get sold. I'm going to keep the Chillet for now because he only does gathering and chilling, which could come in handy when we get to the point where we need a cooler. The Nightwing and our Nightwing. So both nimble, a male and a female. I might keep that pairing for now. That might come in handy. I don't know. I'd prefer Swift, which we could get to, but a male, female with nimble, we might be able to use that later. That said, the rest of this is just going to go away. We'll sell that. Let's go sell our stuff here quick. And since we are at level 16 now, that means we are only 2 off of being able to do stone foundations. So I might just mine up some stone in between streams so that when we come back on Saturday, once we hit that level, we can work on our base a bit because it helps to have all that stuff built up and ready to go. Use that food up. Okay, now that's out of the way. So, let's see. We do not... I was hoping we might have enough time to do a dungeon. It does not look like it unless we rushed it. And it disappeared. So we'll have to wait to do that one later. Oh well, it was a thought. Looks like the syndicate's back up there making a mess, though. I'm kind of liking the cat. So one thing about your pals, when you have them deployed, they will try to stay in front of you or basically on camera. Oops. Sorry, Pangullet. I meant to hit him, not you. I think I hit the tree instead of the mob. To mud. This guy will help with watering and mining of ore nodes. Hey, dude. You're getting attacked. Stop hitting yourself in the head with arrows that I'm firing at you. Yeah, that don't work. So like I said, see, Doomud you would usually not find in this area at all. So these cages are ways to find them. And as you can see, we caught this one earlier in the stream. It's back. So they do respawn. Okay. Yep, come on. I know it's right down here, but back to the fast travel. Get back to the base. And we will quit, hopefully, in the last bits of the stream here. Let's grab that egg incubator. We're not going to build it yet. We'll build it next stream because, yeah, it'll be better if we can place it where we're going to place it. But we are going to get the feed bag. And we're going to get that. Excuse me. We're going to get that made so that we no longer have to manually feed our pals that are in our team. They will feed themselves. The only time they don't feed themselves is if you are riding them. When you're riding them, they don't feed themselves, but you can still manually feed them. So you can see key item. Key items don't have weight, but it unlocked a food spot down here. Oops. So any food we put in there, our pals, which of course we just fed all, so they're not hungry, will eat. Somebody's a noisy sleeper. Let's see, we got a few things here. High quality pal oil, very good to have. Makes 0 sense that whether you catch them or kill them, you get their drops. We caught him. We didn't cut him up. He wasn't injured. He was just in a cage. Why did we get meat? Not complaining. But, yeah. Put this up. I know we sold it earlier, but now we're just about to the point where we're going to be keeping that stuff around in case we do use it. So let's see here. Stream is got less than 5. Well, we got 7 minutes left. So basically, between streams, I think what I'm going to maybe do is, like I said, mine up some stone, because we're going to need a ton of it. Actually, let's see, do we have... So we have enough material. I might make a stone pit, and then let that Doomud go to town at the stone pit. In between streams. Just for the simple fact of then... We will have the stone that once we hit 18 and we can unlock the stone construction materials, we can get going on the base. And then stuff can be in a bit more permanent of a location. And then you guys can have an idea just how much you can fit up on this little plateau inside that circle. Because as of this point, it's not good for ore, because there's no ore. But for breeding... As long as you're not going like all out, you need 50 breeding farms and whatnot. Which we don't, since we don't have incubation time on. Let's see. No, build. There we go. You can have one more bed. We'll just set that over here right by. You can see our Lee's punk is still awake. He must be a nocturnal pal. So basically he won't sleep unless his sanity drops below a certain point. And that, you know, you'd think nocturnal, they'd make them sleep during the day, but they don't. It's just basically they won't sleep unless their sanity drops to a point. defense attack. That's not going to affect him while he's mining. But as you can see, he has mining level 2. So he would be able to mine the ore nodes. As it is, we're basically just going to use him. He's going to go straight to bed because it's nighttime. But when he wakes up, you know, you would think, oh, well, he can mine these. But no, he's going to go straight to this thing and ignore these. As long as there is a stone pit, they will ignore ore nodes. They will ignore anything like that. If we build the logging site, they will ignore anything like these trees. And then he goes and proves me wrong. So maybe they changed that in a recent patch, because they did mention they changed priority of the mob. Maybe that was one of the things they changed. Well, that comes in handy anyway, because we wanted to get these mined up and stuff. And one advantage these stone nodes have over the pit is you can see I'm getting palladium, I'm getting ore, so that stuff still drop. The trees, you will also get fiber. Whereas at the stone pit, at the logging site, you will only get stone and wood. Period. That's it. You will, nothing else. So, like I said, it's about time here. Between streams, like I said, I'm probably just going to gather some stone. I'll just stick it in a chest off to the side near the edge of the circle. So that once we hit the right level, we can rebuild everything on stone foundations. It makes it a bit easier to put stuff in. Like once I rebuild it, these beds will not be this close together, close to anything else, because pals can get stuck on stuff. It makes it easier to lay it out, so it's just one item per square. And they have higher durability, and it just looks a bit nicer. You can't accidentally catch this on fire and watch your whole base burn down. Because if I were to break this foundation right here, then the PAL box would die too and get broken. And then everything, like I said, everything from that PAL menu would drop. But with that said, it is just about time to end the stream, so let's back out of the game here. Switch over to just chatting until we're done here. And yeah, next stream is going to be Saturday. I'm still aiming for the 6:30 to 9:30 Central Time. It's on the schedule. I'm not sure if the Wednesday night is going to stay as long. I might switch it like to just a 2-hour stream, 7 to 9. We'll see. Just because I do have work during the day, and it's a matter of, do I have time to do all this at the end of the day between when I have work tomorrow too? Oh, for the stream today, we had a Modi 101 again. Thanks for the follow. Key Bunny again. Thanks for the follow. It is much appreciated. As I said last time, I'm not really doing this at this point for any intention to monetize at this point. More doing it for practice of me talking, trying to get my energy up, which I don't think I did this time around. Maybe next time. But it's going to be definite work in progress as we go along. And with that said, I know we got like less than a minute left, so we're going to go ahead and end the stream there. And again, thank you everybody for joining.